what strain does the seasonal change place on horses and ponies, and why? I mean, obviously there's the temperature.
Yeah, so that's actually quite a huge topic because none of us really know what happens, but we definitely have always seen more colics in the change of season. So going from winter to summer and summer to winter, we see more. And funnily enough, this year we've had a prolonged spate of colics. And I don't know if we just had a long autumn type season where it's just been, we haven't gone from summer to winter. We've had this long sort of autumny weather. And I think for me, the biggest problem is when you have those huge temperature fluctuations. So
hot days and
25 in the day and then down to 8 or 9 at night.
Okay.
So we always used to blame it on they don't drink enough. But now everyone's getting really good at measuring how much they drink. So we say, well, he drank the right amount and, you know, people are putting warm water in. So interesting, horses like warm water. So even if you're doing a flippin' endurance race up in the desert, they will still choose warm water over cold.
And what's warm water for a horse? Body temperature?
So
water?
body temperature, sort of 28, 30 is fine. You don't want to make it hot. They don't like hot, but warm. They definitely don't like cold. So going around at 10 at night when you check your horses, put some hot water in their buckets is definitely a plus.
Okay.
But I have a theory that it probably has more to do with barometric pressure and changes.
Really?
And that the microbes are affected by that. So there was one study in New Zealand that they showed that the change of barometric pressure affected ovulation rates in mares.
That's crazy. That's so
That was the only meteorological change that could be a sort of linked to that behavior. So one has to go, so could the microbes be being affected? And is that why we get more colics?
Okay.
So I don't know. We're getting a lot of colics. There are a lot of colics all around the country at the moment. More than normal. We're getting a certain type of colic, which we don't normally see. And last year we had all those descending colon impactions, which was very rare. So we seem to get a pattern of strange colics when our weather's strange.
Besides the weather, could that also be tied, which we spoke about in the last podcast with nutrition?
Grass,
Yeah, you said that that's something
So the big problem with grasses is that, you know, we cut it in the summer. And then as soon as we start storing it, it loses its quality. So we're heading into the time of year now that most of the grass was cut, March, April. Probably not much since then. So it's already 3 or 4 months old, so it's getting older. I know people are really battling to source teff. The teff has been short. So we've had a lot of horses going on to aerograss. Aerograss is much more difficult to digest, so that's going to cause a problem. And change of roughage is definitely a cause of colic. So when I grew up, it was always careful how you change your concentrates and change it very slowly. That's actually not the problem. The problem is the hay. And what do most people do?
We go from one bale to...
Finish the old hay and we'll start the new hay. Whereas we should actually just mix the old into the new.